Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. I'm Pinky Webb. Today on the program, a powerful blast kills at least 4 people attending a mass in Marawi City. The government vows to go after the perpetrators to bring justice to the victims. Lanao del Sur Representative Zia Alonto Adiong joins us in the program. And later, over 135 Chinese militia ships spotted swarming the Julian Felipe Reef. Philippine Coast Guard spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea, Commodore J. Tariela, tells us more later in the program. At least 4 people were killed and dozens were hurt after an explosion ripped through a Sunday mass at a gym in state-run Mindanao State University in Marawi City. President Bongbong Marcos condemned the attack, which he said was carried out by foreign terrorists. He also vowed justice for the victims and urged the public to remain calm. The police is increasing its patrols and intelligence gathering in Mindanao and even in Metro Manila as a precautionary measure. Let's go straight to the source of the story. We have Congressman Zia Alonto. Congressman, welcome to The Source. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Pinky. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Tragic, Congressman, what happened there. They were just attending a mass and something like this happens. Last we heard 4 dead and over 50 injured in that bombing. Is this still the number that you have, sir?
Yes, that's according to the number that we got from the APMC. This is the hospital where the victims were transported and rushed to. 39 of them have already been discharged. Only a few minor injuries, while the rest, I think 7 of them or 5 of them, undergone medical procedure. So yes, four of those who attended the Sunday service unfortunately perished in the bombing.
Have you spoken to the family of the victims?
Well, I'm in Manila right now because I have to attend the session. We are to ratify the result of the bicameral conference on the 2024 budget. But my staff are there. They were there yesterday. I asked them to go to the hospital to gather information from the victims. And even the governor of Lanao del Sur was there, supervising and personally monitoring at the hospital the condition of the victims. But I happened to speak one of them, and he happens to be a student, and basically nagpapasalamat siya for the immediate response that we did yesterday to the victims. Yes.
I know that you were interviewed also yesterday, and you said that you are in close coordination with the AFP and the PNP. What have they told you so far?
Well, apart from the initial investigation that they conducted, there were forensic examination. They deployed SOCO, I guess, as you can see on the screen. And I happened to talk with General Browner regarding this. In fact, he informed me that today they will be having the command conference in Marawi City precisely to discuss about this matter, about these recent bombing attacks. And apart from the information they have released to the public, there's no other information that they have shared to me, except that they haven't been able to pinpoint exactly who are the responsible individuals or group behind this attack.
Any information if it was an IED or a grenade?
That's the initial report that we received, no? It was an IED according to the... But then I watched the briefing...
Yesterday.
Yes, Secretary Gibo Teodoro with the PNP and the AFP, and they are actually not... The report actually is inconclusive to say exactly that whether the bomb was used as an IED or not. But if I heard it correctly, it's 66 mortar. I'm not familiar with the terminology, Pinky, but I think they have to come up with the official statement whether it was an IED or something else.
Yesterday also you said, let's not mince words. You said this is a terrorist attack. Yeah. So,
this is indeed a terrorist attack. Well, if if you look at the degree of damage, Mindanao's Dimaporo gym can actually accommodate, I guess, over 2,000, more than 2,000 persons, individuals, and you can see there the damage. And apart from that, there were many of them actually, 4 of them died instantly, and more than 40 of individuals who attended the service have caused injuries, have attained injuries. So you can see the damage and the intent of the attack, which is basically to cause harm to a specific group of people. And that definition alone, as we saw yesterday, that definition alone would fall fitly to a terroristic attack.
Yeah. Who are the likely suspects here? Because it's a little, I guess I would say, confusing. I hope you don't mind, because during the command conference, during the press conference yesterday, wherein Secretary Gibot Teodoro was there, AFP General Bronner was there, etc., and the president also coming out and saying that foreign terrorists were behind this attack, but I didn't seem to get that kind of words or description from Secretary Gibot nor General Bronner. Or could I have been mistaken, sir? Is it a foreign terrorist? Is it not?
Well, the president has access to classified information, which are basically not readily available to the public. And so perhaps the president was just talking on the position that what happened in 2017 in Marawi, and to base the attack on the previous incidents that we had involving foreign entities. It may be that reason that the president came out with that statement. But then again, I was watching the interview of Secretary Gibot yesterday, and there was an insinuation there that the foreign entities may be involved. Pinky, let's remember, during the Marawi siege in 2017, there were quite a number of foreign terrorists involved in the attack, in the siege. And in fact, General Bronner, after the Marawi siege happened, when the liberation was declared, immediately he was assigned as a brigade commander of the 103rd Brigade stationed in Lanao del Sur. And he was responsible for running after the remnants of the terrorist organization. And there were quite few terrorist foreign entities that were involved in the sporadic attacks that they conducted to cause terror, not only in Lanao del Sur, but even the neighboring provinces of Lanao del Norte, even Mindanao. Prior to this attack, we received information that there was an operation conducted by the AFP in Mindanao. And so everything is connected here, Pinky.
Yeah.
We're talking about the presence of global international terror networks. So I guess the president was talking on that position. And again, I said the president has access to classified information that nobody really has a hand on over it. So, we cannot discount the fact that this might be connected with the 2017 Marawi siege,
Right.
where foreign terrorists were involved.
So 2017 Marawi siege, I wanted to actually go back to that. That happened, a horrible incident in 2017. In 2023, this happens again in Marawi, and in the middle of a service, in the middle of a mass. What is that trying to prove or even tell us?
Well, basically the intention really of this radical organization and extremism is to sow division and disunity among peoples, especially in Marawi City, where there is a thriving and healthy relationship between Muslims and Christians. And so it has been their objective and their mission. I guess it's not only in the Philippines but all over the world, to make it appear that this is a religious war, which is basically not. It's far from it. It is purely a criminal and terroristic act. We believe in our religion that to kill an innocent human life, person, is tantamount to killing the humanity in its entirety. So I guess we should not be fall prey to that kind of narrative that they're trying to espouse. This is something that I think this is something that they also wanted to, to pursue in terms of dictating what would be the relationship between the minority Muslims in the Philippines and the majority Christians, trying to capitalize on the minority sense of being of Muslims being part of this country. So I guess it was deliberate in a sense because they know that we are currently, this week observing the Mindanao Week of Peace. So they might want to send a message across that they want to feel their presence. That despite the operations from our troops, they want to send their pressures that they are, though small of them are still operating or still there. They still want to send a message that they are still capable, though minimal in numbers.
Yesterday also, the officials were asked about any possible similarities with what happened in Mindanao State University, the bombing there, and the Holo Sulu bombing in 2019.
Exactly.
Yeah. What can you tell us about that? Well, just looking back, back then, I believe about 20 were killed. Was there any similarities that you're seeing?
Well, if we compare the attack in between the Sulu attack and the bombing here in Mindanao State University, it's safe to assume that the target both the Sulu and the in yesterday in MSU have similarities. Both conducted in a mass, targeted against a particular group of people. So I say this is something that the terrorist organization want to capitalize on. Trying to divide between the Muslims and the Christians, which basically should be the thing that we need to oppose. And the way to oppose that really is not to fall prey to this kind of narrative, fall victim to this kind of narrative, that we may not be able to really foster understanding, between and amongst ourselves. So I guess the thing that we need to do is to come out from this stronger and more united in our call for unity and understanding and tolerance between and amongst ourselves. Yes.
And peace.
So I see there's a similarity. I can see the similarity because it targets a specific group of people connected with a specific group, specific religious belief.
And also, it was discussed yesterday, I think it was General Bronner, who actually said that what happened in Mindanao State University was a possible retaliation. I know you mentioned this a while ago, on the series of military operations that were conducted where 11 members of the Dawla Islamiyah were killed in Maguindanao, and Abu Sayyaf leader Mundi Sawajaan also killed in Basilan. And I think he's the one I believe to be behind the brains behind the Holo Cathedral bombing. So the AFP is saying this could have been a retaliation.
Well, Pinky, I think the AFP is trying to keep everything possible in terms of the investigation, insofar as getting through the real culprits behind this attack. They are, I think, the part of that investigation really is to appreciate the past incidents that happened, and there could be a strong link between this attack in MSU that we saw yesterday and the operations that happened in the previous weeks. We know how the terrorist organization operates. Sabi ko nga, even if they dwindle in numbers, they would really send a message across, a strong message across, in the sense yesterday, as we saw, that the numbers may be dwindling, but they are still capable and they are still a threat to our security.
Was there a failure on intelligence here?
That I couldn't say per se, but definitely there is a failure of somewhat of the security, because this would not have happened if the security measures have been in place. But again, the Sunday Mass, it's been going on for several years without any incident. No? In fact, the Dimaporo Gymnasium has been hosting Sunday services for quite some time. And the reason why we are all surprised in the MSU community was surprised, it's because after all those years that the Mindanao State University, the Christian students and employees in the community in Mindanao State University have been very accommodating to other beliefs in the exercise of their beliefs. This is the first time that we saw such an attack happen. So, but going back to your question, definitely, Pinky, I would agree that there's a sort of a security gaps that we need to we need to look into, because this would not have happened, as I've said, if security measures have been in place, tightly within and around the Naporo Gymnasium.
Congressman,
but you know, and anything can happen. Nobody can really expect these things to happen.
Sabi nga nila, pwede ka talagang lusutan.
Pwede. That's why we have to keep our guards up all the time. Kasi itong kalaban natin are mga may extremist kasi ito eh, and they are capable. They share intelligence, they share technologies, they share every know-how with other foreign entities. This is not just a problem confined within the Philippines. This is in fact an international global menace, international global terrorist organization.
Congressman Zia Adiong, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, Pinky. Thank you for having me. Good morning.
And up ahead, we speak to Philippine Coast Guard spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea, Commodore J. Tariela, on the reported swarming of over 135 Chinese maritime militia vessels near the Julian Felipe Reef as authorities raise concerns over Beijing's illegal presence in the area. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Please stay tuned.